Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something that I know a lot of you are curious about, and that is seasonal affective disorder, or as it's more commonly known, SAD.
Right.
And the really interesting thing about SAD is that it's not just a winter blues thing. We're actually talking about a condition that can affect people in any season.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got some great listener questions and material on SAD, and I think it's going to make for a fascinating discussion.
Absolutely.
So to kick things off, let's just sort of lay the groundwork here. What exactly are we talking about when we say SAD?
Okay, well, SAD is actually a recognized medical condition.
Right.
It's not just, oh, I'm feeling a bit down because it's winter.
Right.
It's a type of depression, and it has a recurring seasonal pattern.
Okay, so it's serious business.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just talking about, the winter blast.
Exactly. It actually meets specific criteria that are outlined in the DSM-5. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
it's a real thing.
So then let's talk about the science behind it. What's actually going on in our brains and bodies when we experience SAD?
Right.
The materials that we got mentioned, serotonin, melatonin, and vitamin D, as key players.
Yeah, all those things.
And I know those are all connected to things like mood, sleep, and energy levels.
Yeah.
But how does that all tie into the seasons?
Okay, so picture this. The days are getting shorter, right?
Yeah.
It's fall or winter. You're not getting as much sunlight.
Right.
And that can actually cause a dip in your serotonin levels.
And remind me what serotonin is responsible for.
Serotonin is a neurotransmitter,
Okay.
and it plays a big role in regulating your mood.
Got it.
So less sunlight, less serotonin, potentially feeling a bit down.
Makes sense.
At the same time, you've got these longer periods of darkness, and that triggers your body to produce more melatonin.
Uh-huh.
And melatonin is the sleep hormone.
Right. Makes you sleepy.
Exactly. So now you're dealing with fatigue, lower energy levels.
Right.
And to make matters worse, we tend to produce less vitamin D during the darker months too.
Oh, right, because we get vitamin D from sunlight.
Exactly.
So it's almost like this triple whammy effect happening.
Yeah, you could say that.
Our brains are getting all these mixed signals from the environment, and that's what leads to those classic SAD symptoms.
Right.
That's so interesting. I'm curious about something else that I read in the material. It said that people who live farther away from the equator are actually more prone to SAD.
Yeah.
So geographically speaking, are we talking about like a higher risk zone for SAD?
Well, yeah, the farther you are from the equator, the more extreme those shifts in daylight hours become.
Well, that makes sense.
And the more dramatic those shifts are, the more vulnerable you are to experiencing SAD.
So basically, our bodies are just struggling to keep up with those drastic changes.
Exactly.
But I'm guessing geography is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There must be other factors that come into play as well.
Absolutely. So, for instance, family history can be a big factor.
Oh, interesting.
If you have a close relative, like a parent or sibling who has depression or SAD, your chances of developing it go up.
Okay, so there's a genetic component as well.
Right. And gender also seems to play a role. Women are statistically more likely to experience SAD than men.
And didn't one of the sources also mention that young adults are particularly susceptible to?
Yes, definitely. SAD often emerges during young adulthood, like those years between 18 and 30.
Oh, wow.
And for some people, the symptoms can actually intensify as they get older.
Really?
Yeah. But it's important to remember that SAD can really affect anyone regardless of age.
Okay.
And it's also worth noting that if you have a pre-existing mood disorder like major depressive disorder or bipolar disorder, you might also be at a higher risk for developing SAD.
So it sounds like there are a lot of factors at play here,
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately it all comes down to how our bodies respond to those changes in daylight.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about what SAD is and some of the factors that might make someone more susceptible to it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does SAD actually feel like?
Right.
The sources we got had a pretty detailed list of symptoms, and it seemed like it's way more than just feeling a bit down in the dumps.
Oh, for sure. It can manifest in all sorts of ways. So imagine this. You wake up, and even though you've had a full night's sleep, you just feel exhausted.
I know that feeling.
Right. And then maybe you find yourself withdrawing from social events, even things that you used to really enjoy.
Yeah.
You're not interested in your hobbies anymore. You might have changes in your appetite. Maybe you're eating more than usual or less.
Okay.
Your sleep patterns might be disrupted. You might have trouble concentrating. And you might even start to experience feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness.
Wow, okay. So it really can affect pretty much every aspect of your life.
Yeah, it's definitely not something to be taken lightly.
Now, we've been talking a lot about the winter blues kind of SA,
Right.
but I know that there's also a summer pattern SAD. How is that different?
That's a great question, and it's an important distinction. So while winter SAD often involves oversleeping, craving carbs, and that kind of sluggish feeling,
Right.
summer SAD tends to look a bit different. People with summer SAD often experience things like insomnia, agitation, and anxiety.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like a flipped version.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh.
And their appetite might decrease, and they often feel restless rather than that low energy that you typically associate with winter SAD.
So it really challenges that common misconception that SAD is all about the cold and the darkness.
Exactly. It's really about how our bodies react to any significant shift in daylight patterns.
Right. So whether it's shorter days in the winter or longer days in the summer, any kind of major change can throw us off.
Yeah, it disrupts our internal clock, that circadian rhythm that regulates all those important bodily functions like our hormone production, sleep-wake cycle, even our body temperature.
Right. It's like our bodies are just trying to play catch up.
Exactly. And that can take a real toll on our mental well-being.
Absolutely. So I think we've done a good job of laying the groundwork here. We've talked about what SAD is, the science behind it, and what it can feel like.
Right.
But now I think it's time to get to the part that I know everyone's really interested in, and that's how do we manage it. We're going to dive into all that and more when we come back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So we've been talking about seasonal affective disorder, SAD, and how it can really impact our lives.
Absolutely.
But now let's shift gears and talk about how to actually manage it. What can we do to feel better?
Right.
One of the sources highlighted light therapy as a key tool. It's almost like bottling sunshine, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So how does that work exactly?
Well, light therapy basically involves using a special light box that mimics natural sunlight. And you spend like 20 to 30 minutes each morning in front of this light box. And that can help to regulate your serotonin and melatonin levels.
Interesting. So it's sort of like tricking your brain into thinking it's getting more sunlight.
Exactly. And a lot of people start to see a positive impact within a couple of weeks.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. So it sounds like light therapy can be really effective.
Right.
But it's not the only thing we can do. Right?
Definitely not.
The sources also mentioned lifestyle changes as being super important. So what kind of changes are we talking about?
Well, even small adjustments to your daily routine can make a big difference. Like, for example, try to maximize your natural sunlight exposure whenever possible.
Oh, okay. So like even on a cloudy day, just getting outside for a bit can help.
Even a little bit of daylight can make a difference.
Yeah.
And regular exercise is also key.
Right. Exercise is good for everything.
It really is, because when you exercise, your body releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals.
Right.
And it also boosts serotonin, which we know helps to combat those depressive symptoms.
Okay, so find an activity you enjoy, whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, strength training, whatever gets you moving, and make it a regular part of your routine.
Exactly. And let's not forget about nutrition, too.
Oh, you're going to tell me to eat my veggies, aren't you?
Well, a balanced diet is definitely important.
Okay, fair enough.
Focus on whole foods, lean proteins, omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for brain health, and complex carbohydrates for sustained energy.
Okay, so basically fuel your body with the good stuff.
Right. Give your body and your mind the nutrients they need to function optimally and help regulate your mood.
It's all connected, isn't it?
It really is. And actually, consistent meal times are important, too.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because it helps to keep your blood sugar levels stable.
That makes sense.
And that can prevent those energy crashes that can sometimes affect your mood.
Right, so we're talking about like establishing a regular eating schedule, not just what we're eating.
Exactly.
So this is starting to sound like a recipe for overall good health, not just for managing SAD.
You're absolutely right. A lot of these strategies are beneficial for everyone.
Yeah.
But they're especially important for people who are dealing with SAD.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got light therapy, exercise, nutrition.
Yeah.
What else?
We can't forget about sleep.
Ah, yes. Sleep, that elusive thing.
Right. But it's so crucial. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know. But try to establish a regular sleep-wake cycle.
Okay, so like going to bed and waking up around the same time each day.
Exactly. Even on the weekends.
Oh no, you're going to take away my weekend sleep-ins.
Huh, I know it's tough, but trust me, it's worth it. Keeping that consistent sleep schedule helps to regulate your circadian rhythm, which is essential for overall well-being.
Okay, fine. I'll try. Anything else?
Yeah, don't underestimate the power of social connection.
Oh, that's a good one.
Make an effort to connect with loved ones, even if it's just a quick phone call or video chat.
Okay, so basically, winter hibernation is not the best strategy, even though it might feel tempting sometimes.
Exactly. Staying socially connected can provide that much-needed emotional support, and it helps to combat feelings of isolation, which can be really challenging during those darker months.
Right, so we've got light therapy, exercise, nutrition, sleep, social connection. It's like a whole toolkit for building resilience against SAD.
It is. And there's one more tool I want to mention that's really effective, and that's cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
Oh yeah, CBT, I've heard of that. So how does talk therapy help with something like SAD?
Well, CBT is really helpful because it helps you to identify and challenge those negative thought patterns that can worsen your symptoms.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. So let's say you're feeling down and you start thinking, I'm never going to feel better.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
Right. Or maybe you start blaming yourself for feeling down.
Uh-huh.
Those are examples of negative thought patterns that can really make SAD feel worse. And what CBT does is it gives you practical coping skills to manage your emotional responses to those seasonal changes.
So it's not just about feeling better, it's about understanding why you feel the way you do.
Yeah,
And having strategies to actually deal with those feelings.
exactly. It's about empowering you to take control of your mental well-being rather than feeling helpless against the changing seasons.
I love that. It's like learning a new language, the language of self-awareness and emotional regulation.
I like that analogy.
So we've got all these great tools and strategies, and then the sources also mention supplements as potentially being helpful. And I'm curious about that because supplements are kind of a hot topic these days.
Yeah.
So can you break it down for us? Which supplements are most relevant for SAD and why?
Okay, well, vitamin D is a big one, especially during the winter when we're not getting as much sunlight.
Right.
It plays a crucial role in mood regulation. And there's even some research that suggests that optimizing your vitamin D levels can be just as effective as light therapy for some people with SAD.
Wow, really? I knew vitamin D was important, but I didn't realize it could be that powerful.
Yeah.
What about other supplements?
Omega-3 fatty acids are another good one. You can find them in fatty fish like salmon, or you can take fish oil supplements.
Okay.
And those are really beneficial for brain health and emotional well-being.
So those healthy fats are good for our hearts and our minds.
Exactly. And then there's also emerging research that's pointing to this fascinating connection between our gut and our brain.
Wait, really? Our gut health can impact our mood.
It's a relatively new area of research, but the evidence is growing. Basically, the trillions of bacteria that live in our gut play a role in everything from digestion to immune function and even mental health.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So how do we support our gut health, especially during those challenging seasonal shifts?
Well, probiotics can be helpful.
All right, probiotics, those are the good bacteria.
Exactly. And they introduce those beneficial bacteria to your gut.
Okay.
And then there are prebiotics, which basically feed those good bacteria.
Interesting. So where do we find these probiotics and prebiotics?
Well, fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut are good sources of probiotics.
Okay.
And you can find prebiotics in foods like garlic, onions, and bananas.
It's amazing how interconnected our bodies are. This deep dive has really highlighted how important it is to take a holistic approach to managing SAD.
Absolutely. It's not just about one thing. It's about looking at the whole picture.
From sunlight and exercise to nutrition and even gut health.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our physical, mental, and emotional well-being are all intricately linked.
It all ties together.
It does. What we eat, how we move, how we sleep, and even the thoughts we think all contribute to our overall health and resilience.
So if we want to navigate those seasonal shifts with more ease and less emotional turbulence, we need to be mindful of all these interconnected aspects of our well-being.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Light therapy, exercise, nutrition, sleep, social connection, gut health. But what about those other approaches that the sources mentioned, like mindfulness and meditation?
Oh, yeah. Those are great tools, too.
How do those fit into the picture?
Well, mindfulness and meditation can be incredibly powerful tools for managing SAD, and actually for mental well-being in general.
Okay.
They help you to cultivate this sense of awareness of your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
So you're not like beating yourself up for feeling a certain way.
Exactly. It's about observing those thoughts and feelings rather than getting swept away by them.
Right.
And that can be really helpful during those seasonal transitions when your emotions might feel more intense or overwhelming.
So instead of feeling like you're drowning in those emotions, it's more like you're learning to ride the waves.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's about creating that space between you and your thoughts and feelings, so you can respond to them thoughtfully rather than just reacting impulsively.
Right. Makes sense.
And mindfulness and meditation techniques can really help you to develop those skills. The skills to regulate your emotions, reduce stress, and just promote a sense of calm and balance, which can be so helpful when you're navigating the challenges of SED.
It's almost like you're giving your mind a workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to how exercise benefits your body.
Right.
This deep dive has really highlighted how much of managing SED is about taking those proactive steps rather than just passively waiting for the season to change.
Absolutely.
It's about empowering yourself with the tools and strategies to really take control of your well-being.
I couldn't agree more. It's about understanding that you have agency over your mental health even when those seasons are changing.
Right. It's not something that's just happening to you. You can actually do something about it.
Exactly. And don't forget about seeking support when you need it.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional if you're struggling.
Right.
They can provide guidance therapy and, if necessary, medication to help you manage those symptoms effectively.
They can help you figure out what's best for you.
Exactly.
So if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, wait a minute, this sounds a lot like what I go through every winter or even every summer. What's the one key takeaway you want them to leave with?
SAD is a real condition, but it is manageable.
That's so important.
With awareness, proactive steps, and support, you can absolutely navigate those challenges and live a fulfilling life, regardless of the season.
Right. It's not a life sentence.
Definitely not. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out, seek help, and remember that you're not alone.
I love that. One of the sources had this great line, and it really stuck with me. It said, "You are in control of your happiness one season at a time."
I like that.
And I think it perfectly captures that sense of empowerment that we've been talking about.
It does.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but it's really just the starting point.
Right.
It's about experimenting and finding what works best for you. Maybe it's light therapy, maybe it's regular exercise, or incorporating more mindfulness into your daily routine, or maybe it's a combination of different approaches.
Exactly. And remember, seeking guidance from a healthcare professional can be so valuable in personalizing your approach to managing SA.
Absolutely. They can help you figure out what's going to be the most effective for your specific needs.
Right.
So it's like having a personalized roadmap for navigating the seasons and taking charge of your well-being.
I like that.
We've thrown a lot of information your way today, but remember, the most powerful tool you have is your own self-awareness. Pay attention to your body, listen to your mind, and don't hesitate to reach out for support when you need it. And hey, if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or you just want to explore some more personalized recommendations based on what we talked about today, head over to Cenario.
That's a great resource.
They've got tons of resources on SAD, from supplement suggestions to lifestyle tips to guided meditations. It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to delve deeper into this topic and find what might work best for their individual needs and preferences. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another exploration of fascinating topics curated just for you.
Sounds great.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.